What's up again, everyone? It's me, Carpo, and I've made probably 4 short videos today. Sometimes I'll make a really long one, and this is after not making any for quite a few days. On and off, I'll make like a bunch one day. A couple of the ones I uploaded today were actually from yesterday. So sometimes I'll make like 3 or 4 videos, then I'll upload them all at once. Then I'll just leave them unlisted. Sometimes I never actually list them. Half of the ones I'll actually just list for just my patrons on Patreon, and then some of them I'll just list later when I don't want to make a video but I want to put one out, or often when I think about what I really want to share. So by putting it unlisted, it allows it to process and have better quality before I list it, but also to think, do I even want to share that thought? And quite often I don't. Sometimes I make a video that I end up deleting and not ever sharing. More often than you might think. Once in a while I leave that video up. And the strangest thing is that every time I leave a video up that I was going to delete, someone says, "Man, this is your best video," or their personal favorite of my videos. And I always think, what is it about that? Why is it the very video that I don't want to post somebody needed to hear? And it's usually because it's something controversial, or a topic where I don't want to offend somebody, or where I don't really want to get into an argument about something dumb, or where I just feel stupid for even talking about something that's just not worth my time. Like, why did I sit and talk about this in a video? But what this video is about is how YouTube, over the last 11 years of me recording videos, has allowed me, I guess it's been about 10 years of full-time YouTube. It's pretty wild when I think about it. It's simultaneously one of the greatest things I've ever done for me in my life, and also one of the biggest wastes of time in my entire life. And I'll explain what I mean by that. I don't feel like talking to all of you is a waste of time, or having conversations, but I realize that there's certain things that I should be doing. Maybe I could be spending this time working, making money. I guess if I was rich and I could just sit back and do this all day, I would, and I wouldn't even care. But I'd still feel like there's that motivation to go out and work, to do something, to get things done. It's not just money, it's getting things done around the house, fixing my cars, all the things that I've been trying to work on lately. Which brings me to today. The reason I've been the last couple days, I've made more videos and wanted to talk, I've been asking myself why. Why is it that when I'm doing other stuff and I'm busy, I'll stop and make a video? But when I have all day to do nothing, I have no interest in making a video. And it's a fascinating look at my own psychology. And I've realized I don't feel worthy of even discussing anything if I'm not getting something done during the day. Like, I shouldn't be wasting time making a video. That's part of it. But a bigger part of it is this. If I'm not working, if I'm not doing something, I'm not thinking. I might be sitting watching a show, listening to music, I might even be writing or doing something else, but if I'm not out physically doing something, it'll drive me nuts. My wife knows this about me. Like, when I'm going, I'm going, and when I'm not, I'm not. And it's difficult sometimes. In the last year and a half, with all the COVID bullshit, it's made it a lot harder for me to just take a deep breath, fucking get up in the morning, go out and get some shit done that I need to get done. Even basic, simple errands, things like that, it becomes difficult. And I ask myself, why? You know? Is it because I'm getting older? Is it because I have kids? Is it because I'm getting, burnt out on this or that? Is it because I'm depressed? Am I anxious? You don't even know if you're depressed half the time. And I think that what it is because I've always had a little bit of depression, but I don't let it get me down. I fight that shit always, every time. I do not wallow in it. I don't ever complain to people. I don't think I've ever told somebody when they ask me how I'm doing, said, "Oh, I'm depressed." Maybe once or twice if I was really feeling crappy. But in general, I don't want to come across as a depressed person, because I'm not. I think that's kind of a cop-out for a lot of people. They use the life is complicated, life is hard as a way to say, I'm depressed, I'm anxious, therefore feel sorry for me. And meanwhile they could be doing shit for themselves. I'm not that guy. If I make a mistake, if I don't do something, or I do something that I should, I should say, if I do something I shouldn't, or I don't do something that I should, I am the only one who's responsible for that. I've known people in my life who want to blame their parents for where they're at in life. You might be able to pull that shit off until you're in your early 20s, but come on, grow up. 30, 40, 50, people still looking back at history saying, oh, if I hadn't been raised this way, I wouldn't have, felt this way. And if I hadn't been picked on in high school, I wouldn't feel this way. And I hate to be insensitive, but we're raising generations of a bunch of wussies. As I mentioned, the wussification of the country and the world, it's by choice. Because parents don't know what else to do. Kids need a little tough love sometimes, but the thing is, I grew up in a time where I was picked on. I grew up with bad acne. I was picked on by my high school. When I went to 6th grade, my parents got divorced during 4th grade or 5th grade. My whole, grade school was cut up into like 4 different schools. The very last half of 6th grade, which was, for some states, 6th, 7th, and 8th is middle school, but 6th out in Oregon was the last year of elementary school. I went to this fucked up school in Oregon City, and like the first week of school, somebody's like, oh, hey, so-and-so wants to kick your ass. I'm like, who's that? It's like, oh, he's the school bully. I'm like, why does he want to fight me? It's like, I don't know, he just does. And that was that's kind of been my life story. I've never fucked with other people. I've never messed with other people, but I was always getting fucked with by others. But I never let that get me down. Getting bullied or having zits or, feeling awkward, that's just part of life, people. That is part of life. And we're trying to get our kids to, avoid that, and I think it's turning them into, I don't know, I guess it allows people to make themselves victims without even realizing they're doing it. And now we have a whole generation of victims and what people are calling woke culture, which, as a liberal myself, I'm disgusted. I'm ashamed with how liberals are acting, or self-professed liberals, if you will. It's very shameful how people are trying to spin the narrative to make everybody feel like they have to tiptoe around those who are, say, trans or gay or men and women, the differences between men and women, or you have a different race. Oh my God, we can't say that you're black and I'm white. Oh wait, no, we have to use the proper terms. And this is coming from a guy who does respect people's views and people's opinions and people's emotions. I don't want to say anything to hurt any other people, but maybe it's time that people stop thinking things annoy them that really don't. Maybe people need to stop playing the victim and say, hey, you want to use a certain term? That's on you. I'm not going to go cry to the principal or cry to the police. Pulling the Karen Act in today's world can go both ways. And we got to be tough. I guess that's my point that I'm trying to convey here. We have to be tough because the world doesn't give a shit if we're sensitive. The world doesn't give a shit if we're overly emotional. The world doesn't give a shit if we're depressed. You got to fight through that shit. And I realize some people have deficiencies and this, I guess it's kind of not to offend anyone, but the idea that of a person having a chemical imbalance is bullshit. Scientific studies have shown that that's not necessarily the case. For people taking SSRIs or antidepressants, anxiolytics, Valium, things like that, we take them because they give us instant gratification, but not dealing with our problems as they come. You will eventually get over your depression, your anxiety. Taking pharmaceuticals is just going to cover up the problem. For some, and I would assume a very small part or a very small group of those who right now take them, can benefit from SSRIs and like medications. But understanding even the pharmaceutical industry will tell you they don't know how they really work beyond more serotonin. I think that dealing with life's shit as it comes is more important than taking Prozac, popping a pill. Sure, I smoke weed, I have a couple beers, but it doesn't hide my problems the way that consistent pharmaceuticals where you're always in a certain state of mind do. And so that's just one side of it. I didn't want to get into the pharmaceutical aspect, but a lot of people become hyper emotional because of the pharmaceuticals they take, and some people become emotionless. And because of that, I think that there's an epidemic of complete ignorance about how people are treating others and talking to others. The zombification of a nation, if you will. It's crazy. It's a weird time to be alive. But ain't it always? At any rate, I guess when I started this video, I wanted to kind of close with talking and touching base with that discussion about why I make certain videos one day and then none for a week. Keeping motivated keeps my mind sharp, but it's hard to keep motivated. Ain't it, Lucy? Ain't it, girl? Ain't it? Want to say hi, Luce? Say hi. Say hi, baby. Hi. Hi. Come here. What's up? Huh? Hey. Oh, you big baby. Hey, don't bite me. Don't bite me. Hey. Hey. Pet. Y'all have a good day now.